If you've ever woken up hungover, you know what it's like, the guilt, the shame, the struggle, all those things that come with waking up with a hangover, right? You have the anxiety, the stress, the shame, all those things going through your mind when you wake up hungover. And, I was there for many, many years. I was a problem drinker for 18 years, and I was able to break free without AA or rehab. And I want to share some kind of insights that I have for you. And one of the insights I want to share with you guys is the importance of having a sober morning, because it's not just different, it's not just better, it's a drastic difference between how I wake up now and how I woke up when I was drinking. Because I still remember that first sober morning, when waking up without alcohol in my system. It was probably about a week or two in. It takes a couple of weeks, maybe 7 days to get alcohol out of your system. But when it all got out of my system and I started feel a little bit better, I remember waking up and just feeling this immense gratitude for my life, because I always had that guilt, that shame, the anxiety, and I didn't have that morning. I woke up with something that I hadn't had in a long time. I remember what I did last night. I was able to hang out with my children, and I was able to have breakfast with my wife. I was able to do these things as sober for the very first time, and it was one of the most amazing experiences that I had. And I kind of want to help you guys get over that, get that in your life as well, because hangovers steal more than your life. They steal everything in your life, right? They steal more than just your mornings. They steal your time. They steal your energy. And it's not just the hangovers that steal your energy. You're obsessing over alcohol. You're in that mode where you can't think about anything else, and that anxiety and that shame and that depression follows you throughout the whole day, and it just keeps you driving to drink. I know it did for me. But sober mornings give you back your energy, your clarity, your confidence. And the big difference isn't subtle. It's, like I said, it's a huge difference. And that's what I call horizon number one, and something called a sober morning reset coaching program, and everything I teach to my clients. And that is horizon number one in your sober journey, right? You're proving that change is possible for you, that you can wake up proud. And it's not about forever. It's not about quitting forever, because there's something that I like to tell people about in my programs and on this YouTube channel. There's something called FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. You fear you're missing out on with your friends, with your family, with all these things. But I like to look at it as JOMO. JOMO is the joy of missing out. You get the joy of missing out on the hangovers. You get the joy of missing out on crappy mornings where you start the day with nothing more than a hangover and anxiety and shame, right? You get the joy of missing out on all these drunken moments that people have in their lives, and you get the joy of moving forward and being able to be with your family and being that sober leader. And you're not just quitting drinking, right? You're stepping into someone who you said you're going to be. You get the joy of keeping promises to yourself, and that all happens when you have a sober morning. And you do this one day at a time. And that's why I want you guys to just think about, what's the next sober morning going to look like. Just get to that first sober morning, that second sober morning, even if it's 1, 2 sober mornings a week. That's a good start, and then start building from there, because that's exactly what I did. And it's been one of the biggest things that changed my life, was just having the sober mornings and putting things in place so I can have a great sober morning routine, and that I can build from there. So we're going to get some practical tips in here as well, so you guys can get some sober momentum this morning. The first one is the 1 minute anchor, right? So when you want to change something in your routine, the best way to do it for me and for a lot of people I work with is just 1 minute, right? So you say, I'm going to journal for 1 minute. I'm going to meditate for 1 minute. I'm going to exercise for 1 minute. And what that does with your brain, your brain's kind of scared of change. It's scared of moving forward. But when you say, I'm just going to do it for 1 minute, that tells your brain, okay, I can do that. That's easy. Let's try it. And then once you start, you're not going to be doing it for 1 minute. I know I start this sometimes. I'm like, I'm going to do this for 1 minute. I'm there for 5, 10 minutes sometimes it's a half an hour, especially with workouts, right? You get started, you're there, you start feeling better, you get in the move, you get in the groove of things, and then you keep moving forward. So the 1 minute rule is super important. Just say you're going to do it for 1 minute, or even 2 minutes if that's what works for you. And it just helps your brain kind of organize things and make sure that you get to do what the things you want to do. So when you're sober morning, and you want to have something to replace what you used to do, doom scrolling and all that stuff, just try the 1 minute rule. It's really going to help. And then the second thing I would say is prep the night before, right? Set up yourself for success. Put your journal on your nightstand. Make your pen visible. Have your coffee ready. Have your workout shoes ready there, and that's going to be helping you just see these things visually in the morning. I like to put my goals right on the wall beside me as well, so I can kind of wake up. I see that's where I'm moving towards, because a lot of time we wake up in a rush, especially if we've been drinking the night before. We're hungover. We don't have time to do anything, right? So it's going to be kind of a different thing to kind of build this routine, but over time time, I would just suggest putting these things in place the night before so that you see them, because that's going to be a great trigger for you to move forward and have these better habits moving forward in your life. And then the third one, number three, I would say, was called the micro check-in. Before you check your phone, be check in with yourself, right? What did I just prove? That I kept the promises, that I'm clear, that I don't need alcohol to lead. Let that identity hit before anything else. Write that down in the journal. Have that gratitude list ready to go. What are you grateful for? Because those kinds of things, as soon as if you wake up with a mindset of, okay, oh, this sucks, I don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes you have that. Motivation's not always there, but if you can start getting clear on where you're going and what you want to do in your life and your new sober life and take advantage of these sober mornings, that's where the real change is going to happen for you guys. So just to recap, a 1 minute anchor, two, prep the night before, and have this micro win check-in, right? This sober win check-in. I'm such a big fan of sober journals and, getting that ready beside, so you can get you track your triggers. You can do all sorts of things in a sober journal. And one of the best things to do is a sober win. If you wake up this morning and you're sober, write that down. That's a win for you. They don't have to be huge wins. Those tiny little wins are what's going to build a sober life, or at least it did for me in the long run. So those are kind of the three practical things I would say to get through your first sober morning, and it's kind of reset your mindset and get those things going with your sober morning. Because every sober morning you wake up clear, you're building evidence that you're going to keep the promises to yourself. You're not the drinker who regrets. You're the mom, the dad who's calm, the dad who's present, the leader who shows up. You're those things. You just have to kind of align your beliefs, align your mornings, align your life with that action, and that's the new you. And it all starts with sober mornings in that. So here's your move. Picture tomorrow being that day. Picture tomorrow being that sober morning, right? You open your eyes with energy, pride, zero shame, and then that's what you want to look forward to. So tonight, if you feel like you need to have a drink, if you feel like that those cravings are hitting you hard, just remember, what's tomorrow's sober morning going to look like? What's that first horizon we're going to get to? Is just your first sober morning. Sack those a little bit, and you can see that vision of yourself, clear, calm, energy, those kinds of things. And once you start having those, you'll have a vision because you already lived it. You'll start living those things, right? And then also on the other side, you can look, okay, what if I have a drink? What's my morning going to look like? Shame, guilt, anxiety, those kinds of things. And you don't want those things in your life, because I know if you're like me, we're kindred spirits. We want to live a sober life, and not just to live a sober life. We want to thrive in our alcohol-free lifestyle, and we want to get to where we want to go. And having a sober morning is one of the best things I've done in my life, and one of the best things you can do in your life too. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe it with somebody you know or love that needs to hear this. Your sober morning is coming. It's going to be one of the best things. It's coming for you, and it's going to be one of the best things you did in your life. I know it is for me. And I really want to help you guys get there. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video, where I always talk about tips and tricks and how to live an alcohol-free lifestyle, and have sobriety be your superpower, because it's not something you should be ashamed of. Anyways, guys, see you on the sober side. I'll see you guys in the next video.